Welcome. Today I'll be going over the Ceratosaurus and the Siamotyrannus. I'll be looking over their stats and abilities and who is generally stronger if two equally skilled players 1v1 using them to their full potential. Firstly, there's raw stats. How heavy an animal can be in this game determines how strong it is. Heavier animals will be able to deal and take more damage compared to lighter ones. The Ceratosaurus weighs 1,575 kilograms when fully grown, and the Siamotyrannus weighs 1,850 kilograms when fully grown, making the Siamo 275 kilograms heavier than the Ceratosaurus. Thus, if they were to stand still and attack each other at the same time, the Siamo would win. However, we have not taken a look at their abilities. The Ceratosaurus has multiple abilities to work with. He has the choice to hold on to prey if he decides to hold M1 instead of tapping it. From there, he can either press space to ragdoll smaller prey, or repeatedly press M2 to trash the victim, dealing damage. This tends to be buggy with big prey, tending to work best with small animals, like the Kilovator. Its next ability is if it decides to hold M2 on big prey, which makes the Cero hold onto their leg. They can either press space to ragdoll the victim, no matter the size, or they can press M1 to break the victim's femur, causing a leg fracture, which massively reduces movement. Next up is the Siamo. Besides its M1, it only has one ability, and that is the choke. This ability has a few requirements to use. 1. The Siamotyrannus has to be over 30% growth for it to work, which isn't a problem in our scenario, but might as well mention it. 2nd, the Siamo must have over 66% stamina to use that ability. When that requirement is met, the Siamo must press M2 at the victim's head/neck to activate the ability. When landed, both the Siamo and the victim will enter a minigame in which they have to both press keys as fast and as accurately as possible. The way it works is that the victim begins with 1 point more than the Siamo, and pressing the correct key will give a point. When the victim has more points than the Siamo, an invisible oxygen bar in-game will go up, and vice versa. If the oxygen bar is filled up to max, the prey is freed. If the oxygen bar is rendered completely empty, an animation will play showing the Siamotyrannus killing the victim. While the Siamo's ability is a one-shot, it has a lot of requirements to land, and from the beginning the Siamo is at a disadvantage in the minigame. The Ceratosaurus has generally more variety in abilities, as well as more surefire ways of dealing significant damage. There are other factors that can affect a fight, such as ones that will determine if a party can perform a tactical retreat, heal up, and come back stronger. When it comes to maximum movement speed, they basically run at the same speed, with Cera maxing at 35.3 km per hour and the Siamo at 36.3 km per hour, only with the Siamo slightly faster. We also have to take into account that the Siamotyrannus can swim much faster than the Ceratosaurus due to its better water adaptability. Next, when we compare stamina, the Ceratosaurus has a big edge over the Siamo. The Ceratosaurus has more stamina, as well as better stamina retention, meaning that the Siamo won't be able to chase the Cera over long distances. There is one more factor that we must consider. If the Ceratosaurus lands his leg fracture, then that allows him to disengage whenever needed, makes the Siamo unable to disengage thanks to the extreme movement debuff. Now that we have gone over both of the dinosaurs' capabilities, it is time to declare the winner. If two equally high-skilled players were to fight using full-grown Cera and a full-grown Siamo at full strength, I believe that 60% of the time the player using the Ceratosaurus would win. I believe that because of its wide arsenal of abilities, it could beat the Siamotyrannus' raw power. If the Cera player got an early leg fracture, it could disengage whenever it wants to, heal up, and attack the Siamo again. Couple that with its ragdolling abilities, it would definitely have the advantage. The Siamo could definitely get a choke in and potentially one-shot the Ceratosaurus. The Cera could also mess up with its usage of abilities, and just get stat checked by the Siamo. But I think those two scenarios would be pretty rare if we're talking about high-skilled players. Overall, that was my opinion on the encounter. If you have a different point of view, be free to share it in the comments. But that is about it from me. Have a good day.